Hello, I'm Erica, and this is GoGo Gospel. Today I will be going over the Bible trivia question from yesterday, give you the answer, and read some of the associated Bible passages to the question. All right? So, for those of you that didn't catch it yesterday, the theme is provided sacrifice. The question is, are you ready? What animal did God provide for Abraham so he wouldn't sacrifice his son Isaac? God promised Abraham he would become the father of many nations, but there was a significant issue with the promise. Abraham and his wife, Sarah, were very old, very old, and they did not yet have children. Eventually, however, God enabled Sarah to give birth to Isaac, who would be the one through whom he would bless the whole world. Sounds fair enough. They had to wait a lifetime, but hey, better late than never. Then God asked Abraham to do the unthinkable. Abraham was to sacrifice his son Isaac as an offering to God. What a twist! He walked his son up to the altar, trusting that God would provide the lamb for a burnt offering. Abraham believed that God would send a worthy sacrifice so that his own son would be spared. As Abraham was about to follow through with the sacrifice, God stopped him and provided a ram instead. Not a lamb, a ram. Abraham called that place, "The Lord will provide." And there's a quote from Genesis 22, verse 13. Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. Oh, it had a happy ending after all. Okay, so now I'm going to refer to my King James Bible. And just for fun, I'm going to start from the beginning of chapter 22 of Genesis. Isaac to be offered as a sacrifice. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest. That's like he was rubbing it in. Okay, God, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took two of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Then on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, Isaac smart, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went, both of them together, and they came to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. It's taking a dark twist. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. I'm busy. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. That was a close call. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind them, a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, In the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time, and said, By myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. Well, so the answer is a ram, not a lamb. They even thought it would be a lamb, but so did my dad and a couple of you guys. Close, but not quite. That was a very close call. I mean, had the angel of the Lord got there a minute later, Isaac, oh my gosh, poor baby. He was smart. He knew his dad was up to something. Okay, Dad, you've got all the supplies for the sacrifice, but where's the actual sacrifice? Surprise! Oh my goodness. So, got a little scary, ended with a happy ending. Kind of. And that is it for today's edition of Bible Trivia. And you can take that with you, go home and think about it, and leave something in the comments, and let's talk a little bit about this. Have a beautiful Sunday. Take care.